You know her, you see her on social media, she has it all, but it's not because she's doing more. It's because she became or was inherently the version of herself who stopped trying and started being. I'm Kristi. We are taking the woo-woo out of manifesting. I am a Yale-educated PA. We are here to talk about why identity is the foundation of your ability to level up, manifest the life of your dreams, and truly have it all. And today we are talking manifesting and makeup. I have an orchestra rehearsal tonight and dinner with Pookie afterwards, so we're going to get this face looking cute. Not that it isn't already cute, because let's be real. Going in with foundation first. I've already prepped my skin. I did that in the last video. If you did not see it, you can go watch. Going in with my Dior Forever Skin Glow foundation. This shade is 1 Neutral, and it's a skosh dark for me. I bought this during the summer when I had a tan, and it's a skosh dark right now, but I'm gonna do pretty thin application of this. So what you need to understand is the women that you see, or the people that you see who seem to have it all without trying, have an identity that supports them having whatever they want with very little effort. Or you simply just don't see the effort that they are putting in behind the scenes because social media is very largely curated. I love this foundation so much. It goes on so nicely. It looks just like my skin, but it gets rid of the redness that I had shingles on my face in 2022, and it was pretty gnarly. Like, it was all down both sides of my face and neck. Luckily, I don't have any scarring from that, but I do have some residual redness. Could I manifest it away? Sure, and you could technically say that I am, because I use skincare that is targeting redness, which I believe in because I'm a PA and I like skincare. And also love it as an aging woman. This does not settle in and get cakey and gross in my fine lines. I only have lines on my forehead, but I feel like it does not accentuate them or make them look deeper than they are. So I'll show you this. Let me see if I can turn off the beauty filter. Soft skin effect is off. Here, let me get a light closer. I really like this foundation line. I'll just leave the filter off. All right. And the important thing to realize about people who seem to have it all effortlessly is that they have a belief that they get it no matter what. And so they do not perceive their reality in a way that is unfavorable. They do not see whatever is going on out here as they're trying to persist and become the thing. Like, for example, if you wanted to become a well-known recording artist, their belief in themselves and their love for the craft of music is going to take them through whatever murky waters there are in between where they are at the start and when they become famous. There's this saying that you hear that it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. It's because you don't see all of that work that goes in, all of that embodiment that must occur before the success happens. Their belief in themselves is stronger than whatever rejection they may get, whatever disappointments they may encounter. People get dropped from their labels all the time. After all of the high of getting signed by a record label, the label drops them. But the people who are ultimately successful do not see that as the end of the road. They see that as something that happened, and they are still carrying on because their identity is one who will be successful no matter what. Next thing I'm gonna do is prime my eyelids. I use the Wet n Wild Mega Last eyeshadow primer. This thing was like $5. I love it. It works so well. I'm not spending $25 on an eyeshadow primer. I think not. I will spend money, but I'm not spending it on an eyeshadow primer. Anyways, the people who become successful recording artists behave and identify as recording artists every day until that becomes their reality. We're doing very simple eyeshadow today. I love the Thrive Cosmetics Brilliant Eye Brighteners as eyeshadows. I'm using the colors Stella and Aurora. They go so nicely with just about everything. They're the best. I have repurchased because I use them up constantly. I use them constantly. I've repurchased, I think, at least twice on both of these colors. So if you find yourself getting stuck at some point, like I am successful to a point with my weight loss, or I am successful to a point with my money goals or my career goals or my aspirations to be something to the world that can contribute value, then you need to look at your identity. Who are you believing yourself to be related to that topic? And if you have just been repeatedly affirming that you have the outcome but not addressing the identity, that's your problem. You need to not only address that you have the outcome, but address the underlying identity of the person that you in your mind can conceive right now would have that outcome naturally. And the beautiful thing is that you get to decide if it's going to be difficult or not. So there are some people who just enjoy doing something, and so they do not have a perception that achieving their goals in that area is going to be difficult. And that can be you too. Difficult is a perception, and it is often tied to an identity. For example, you may find running very difficult. If you go out and run, your mind will be screaming at you the entire time because you already have an assumption about yourself and about running that is negative. Someone that grew up going for runs with their parents or their friends and never had a perception that running was hard for them or something that was a task and difficult to do, they most likely have an underlying identity where running is just enjoyable, it's easy to do, they feel like there's benefit. So when they go out for a run, their mind is probably not thinking about how hard it is and how they have to push themselves every step. They're probably looking at the scenery. They're probably focused on their breathing. They're probably focused on maybe during their 2-mile time. Whatever it is, the identity underlying it can get you the same results, but with what mental gymnastics? I don't know about you, but after coming from a life where the majority of it has been struggle and I identified as that and I prided myself in that, I don't want to struggle anymore. I'm tired of that existence, not interested anymore. So next we're going in with a new product to me. Fluff Cosmetics is an Australian cosmetics brand that do quarterly drops of their sales of their products. So if you have not already bought a compact from them, you have to wait for them to do a quarterly drop. I have wanted to try Fluff Cosmetics for about a year, so I recently put myself on their newsletter to be notified of a drop. They had a drop in March, and I just received my purchases yesterday, and I'm very excited. So we're gonna try them out for the first time here. This is their bronzer. It's a bronzing powder. The compact is all metal. It's extremely well made and heavy. And I got the bronzer that I thought would look best with my skin tone. So we're gonna try it out. They also sell a brush with it. It comes in a duo, and oh my God, it's so soft. I'm very excited to try this out. So let's see. That's nice. We're gonna dust a little off and go in and see how this goes. Haven't used bronzer in a long time, so if I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how I feel about this. The nice thing is it's not going on too crazy pigmented. Seems to blend easily. I think I like it. And then I should mention that if you buy their compact, then you have an account and you can always go in and buy refills no matter what time of year it is, but they only sell the compacts quarterly, or yeah, I think they do drops quarterly. Really don't want to do anything too crazy. I just kind of want to give myself a look like I haven't been sequestered inside all winter. The brush is really nice. I like it. And it has a retracting thing to protect the bristles. And then when you put the cap on, it pushes that down. I like this. I'm happy I bought these. And then it just closes up like that. I love this packaging. It's so satisfying. Love it. And I also got 2 cream blushes. They come in the same packaging as the lip oil. I don't remember the names of the colors, sorry, but I got 2 colors. They look brighter than they're showing up in the viewfinder to me, but that could be that I'm behind the light, in front of the light. I think I'm gonna try this more like corally pink color. So just using my finger, it came off pretty pigmented. I'm gonna put it on my hand and then put it on my brush from there so I don't accidentally get too much. Blush side, bronzer side, blush side, no blush. I like it. I like it. Pretty. I like it. So that is the blush. I'll find out what color this is. I'll link everything below that I use in case that's something that you want to try out. I think the drop for new compacts is closed, but I could be wrong. So if you see this close to when I upload it, you may be able to go grab it. I also want to try and contour with the bronzer a little bit on my nose. I need to practice more with contouring my nose. But if you can realize that the girlies who seem to have it all just keep showing up in whatever area they want, whether it's weight loss, being magnetic to men, being magnetic to social media, being a recording artist, being an actress, being whatever it is that you ultimately dream of being. The girlies who get it have a belief in themselves that it is possible for them and that they in some way deserve it, because they keep showing up no matter what it looks like in the 3D. And that is where you are getting it wrong. You are putting too much stock in the 3D happenings. You are putting too much stock in the rejection. You are putting too much stock in the slow movement. You are putting too much stock in the naysayers if you have them. You need to self-identify as a person who, of course she can have this. Of course she can. There is absolutely no reason in the world why you cannot have what you want unless you believe that there is. Are you the kind of person who good things happen for? Are you the kind of person that gets lucky? Are you the kind of person who opportunities just show up for? Are you very committed to your identity that life has to be a struggle for you? You might be, and you most likely are, incredibly successful, but you are not at your peak potential, and you know that, but you still identify as someone who the life they want just isn't for them, for whatever reason. Going in with a color corrector to my under eye. This is by Sigma. It is the Spectrum Color Corrector Duo Light to Medium. I just use the pad of my finger. I'm using the medium color. I found the light color seems to be too light. I just tap it under my eye to get rid of the blue. Took me a while to figure out how to use this product. This product is a little finicky, and I'm still experimenting a little bit with this one. I'm telling you what, the most powerful thing you can do with your focus is to cultivate an identity where the desires that you have are possible for you. This is the Huda Beauty Cherry Blossom Cake Baby Baked Loose Baking and Setting Powder. It's the tiny mini version, and I use so little of it. Like, the big version seems so pointless to getting, but I just use this to set my under eye, and it's pink, so it also neutralizes the blue. When I use this, it never creases. I don't have a problem with under eye creasing. There we go. That is that. Some examples of things that changed for me once I stopped clinging to an identity where life had to be hard, where I wasn't the type of person who got the things she wanted. I wasn't the type of person who got the treatment that she wanted. I was the type of person that was dismissed and interrupted and not inherently feminine and a whole host of other things. Once I decided that maybe things were possible for me that I never thought before, I switched my career. I went back to school. I spent 7 years going back to school to apply to PA school to switch my career into medicine. Successfully achieved a nearly 4.0 average. I'm still mad at biochemistry for giving me a B. Everything else was an A. That didn't matter because I then applied to Yale as the only PA school that I applied to. I got into Yale, became a PA, lost over 100 pounds, now live in a luxury apartment in my dream kind of city, which is a walkable city near the water. I have multiple men vying for my attention and attraction, treating me like princesses. And these are all just examples of what you can achieve too. And I know that I am meant for even more. I cannot wait until I am able to start and fund an orchestra with my own money where I can pay the musicians and we can thrive as the premier orchestra in our area. I cannot wait to be able to contribute hundreds of thousands of dollars to the organizations that matter. My best friend is a director at a substance use recovery facility. I can't wait until I can contribute hundreds of thousands of dollars to her facility so that they can upgrade it to be able to better serve her community. I cannot wait until I have the resources, the kind of wealth to be able to my parents, to my friends, to my community in the way that brings me the most joy. And playing small and identifying with your limitations is never going to allow you to really do that kind of level up where you can make a huge impact on the world around you and possibly, if that's your desire, the world at large. Going in with mascara for the end of the makeup? Actually, no. I'm gonna do setting spray before mascara because the mascara always gets kind of wet after the setting spray and I don't think I need it. So we're gonna use setting spray. I use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Party all night, stay all day. I love this setting spray so much. I've repurchased this multiple times. So we're gonna do setting spray. Like spraying on success. Love it. All right, now we're gonna go in with mascara. This is the Liquid Lash Extensions Tubing Mascara from Thrive Cosmetics. It's my favorite tubing mascara. If you have a tubing mascara that you love, please drop it in the comments because I wanna try them all and find the very best one. This is in the color Bryn. It's their black tubing mascara. I've been using an eyelash serum as well, and my eyelashes are getting quite long. My point is, the identity that you choose, that you defend, that you hold on to, is going to determine everything about whether or not you get to have it all, whether you get to have it all with struggle, whether you get to have it all effortlessly, whether it all just comes to you, or whether you have to seek it all out. Everything about your identity will determine how things do or do not come to you. The most beneficial place to put your mental diet, to put your mental energy on, and I will die on this hill, I don't care what any other law of assumption coach says, is your identity. You can focus on outcomes all day long, but if you don't change your identity, those outcomes are going to be one-offs. And if you change your identity, the outcomes will be limitless and constant. I don't know about you, but that sounds way better to me than having to micromanage all of the outcomes that I want in life. All right, there we go. That is the full look. Let me come up closer to you. Just a nice casual, go into rehearsal a little bit later. Gonna have dinner with Pookie after. Look. And if it makes sense to you what I'm saying, but you're not quite sure how to take yourself from where you are with all the success you've had, you feel like maybe you're just like capped out at what's possible for you, I have one-on-one coaching available starting in May. There's an application to apply for that in the description box. This is going to be luxury boutique level one-on-one coaching. This is not for beginners. This is people who have achieved quite a lot in life and are feeling like they're at a ceiling and are ready to break through that ceiling. We will be focusing on identity entirely, and you will get my entire focus and attention for the entire month of May. I'm only taking one client because I am not concerned with volume of clients. I am concerned with quality of outcome for you. Go apply, and if I have multiple people that are a good fit, I will start a wait list for the next month. As always, I am so glad that you are here and that we are building this community together. If you feel like this video gave you value, and I know you did, please do interact with it so that YouTube knows it's valuable, and they will continue to send it out to people so we can take the woo-woo out of manifesting. Thank you for being here. I will see you in my next video. Bye.